Welcome to Cafe Grit. My name is Beth Campbell, and I am the author of Where the Hell is My Bacon?, a book about a corporate team that triumphed over shitty leadership with the help of fried pork. I open Cafe Grit as a place where you can join me in figuring out how to channel your grit and find your voice in the world, whatever that means for you. This is the place to go when you've got the hankering for purpose, the taste for fulfillment, and you're tired of living the rat race. Thanks for stopping in. Cafe Grit is now open for service. Hey everybody, welcome to Cafe Grit. I'm your host, Beth Campbell. This is the place to go when you've got a hankering for purpose, a taste for fulfillment, and you're tired of living the rat race. I'm no longer in the rat race, so I'm super excited about that. The evolution of Beth Campbell could be you. I should write songs for a living. I did write a song. I have a little song out there on Instagram that I did for my little dog. It's called I'm a Retriever, and it's very cute. It's just a cute little song. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about songs, although I could all day long and then some. Just music is just wonderful. I was listening to some 80s music on one of the classic MTV channels over the weekend, so that was fun. It's amazing, some of those old videos, when you watch them, and when we were living them, it was state of the art. We just thought, oh my God. And then the next one would come out and it was better, and now you look at them and the quality just seems they seem very, very old and vintage. Anyway, I'm going to talk today about how I love Mondays again. It has been a minute since I have loved Mondays, since I've looked forward to a Monday. I can't even remember the last time. It's been probably 15 years. There was a time when I really, really enjoyed my work. When I first started out in my career in technology, I was a coder. Didn't like that. That didn't make me look forward to Mondays at all. But I soon got out of programming and into projects, technical leads, systems analysis, business analysis, playing every role in projects. And for over a decade, I loved it. I wasn't going to leave this company that I had started with. I loved my work. I found great fulfillment in it. Probably was creating a monster because I was one of those people, and kind of still am, very responsive. And I've talked about this before with people. If you're out there, if you're a young person or you know a young person who is one of those spreadsheet people or those people that respond very quickly and they get shit done, that's great. But that over time will create an expectation that becomes overwhelming and leads to chronic stress in many cases. So, but I was that person. And before it actually hit, it was wonderful. And by the way, speaking of chronic stress, I have a future episode coming up. We're going to tape it in a few days with my good friend, Mike Goggin, who you may remember from the creativity episode a couple episodes ago. So I'm really looking forward to that. But anyway, so I used to love Mondays. I used to look forward to going to work. It was great. I was never going to leave, never going to change jobs. And then things change, right? So there's a lot of factors that I really am not going to get into today. But at some point, you stop looking forward to going to work. And that was for me too, because work became overwhelming for many reasons, many of which I will talk about in my episode with Mike Goggin. But suffice it to say, the chronic stress kicks in. It's overwhelming. You're doing too much work. I was struggling with the same things that a lot of you probably who have been in the corporate world struggle with: management processes, not being heard, all kinds of things. So without even knowing it, without even being aware, all of a sudden you make this evolution, this transition from I love my job, it's great, I'm feeling really good, to getting pangs of stress, knot balls in your stomach on a Sunday afternoon. And that's what happened with me. I would find myself dreading going to work. Especially when in the last few years, and I think it changes, right? The reasons why you dread going to work change, but it was still there. And I can certainly say in the last 6 months of my most recent job, the one I was made redundant at, I was walking around on eggshells with management. There was fear. I was trying to, figure out what was going on so I could address it if there was something I was doing. And it was most definitely a case of the Sunday afternoon, not in the stomach, sometimes a headache, just that feeling of dread whenever I would think about that tomorrow is a work day. And then of course, once the workday comes and it hits, then it's every night. It's another. And then you start looking forward to the weekend. So you get about halfway done and you go, okay, Wednesday's over, only 2 more days to the weekend. You live for the weekend. And that was totally me. And there are many, many, many people that live this life of, and I'm not talking about, I don't like love my job amazingly. I'm talking about like dread. I'm talking about where you are physiologically having symptoms of stress because tomorrow's a Monday or because you have to work or tomorrow's a Tuesday or whatever. But now, and this is something, again, I wasn't seeking to think about this. It just popped in one day when it was the weekend, and the weekends are great. I have more time to spend with my husband and the dog, and we do things and they're great. But then I found myself on Sunday thinking, oh, tomorrow is Monday, in a really positive way that I don't even know when I first started my career, when I really did love my job, if I were really consciously thinking about how much I looked forward to Mondays. I was, I was young. I was a whippersnapper, probably not as wise and aware as I am in my glory years. But I can't even remember a time when I so looked forward to a Monday. And I do now. And it's kind of a weird sensation. I kind of don't know what to do with it. And it's not like I'm, going out there and, changing the world, I guess in little bit piece by piece, but I'm doing what I love and I'm happy. I'm letting myself be happy. And it's kind of a vicious circle, again, related to chronic work stress, which I'll get into in more detail in a future episode, but it all plays in to why I'm happy now. Do I absolutely love getting up at the butt crack of dawn and writing in my novel for National Novel Writing Month? No, I love writing, but it is work, right? And there are other things that I'm doing during the day that, although they're not a traditional corporate or consulting job, but it is work. And I can't say that there aren't moments where during the day I think, I just really don't want to do this, but I have to be a little disciplined. It doesn't matter, but it's wholly different. It is wholly different than being under the shackles of corporate, where I felt unheard, unappreciated, unvalued, and at times was overwhelmed with just, the amount of work, all kinds of things. So I love Mondays again, and I'm really excited about it. I look forward to Mondays as much as or more than I look forward to the weekends. I no longer live for the weekends. I kind of live for Mondays because I really just love what I'm doing, and I hope I can sustain it and figure out maybe how to make some money at it. But until then, I'm just enjoying being happy and embracing the start of the work week again. So if you're out there listening and you're thinking to yourself, I don't look forward to Mondays, I don't look forward to the work week, I get a ball of stress in my stomach or wherever it manifests, your shoulders, headaches, whatever, it's time to think about why. And I get it's so easy for me to say, because there are people out there that, they don't have the luxury of having a husband who works where they can just become redundant and not have to immediately go into a panic. Some of you do. Some of you are in positions and situations where it is difficult. But I challenge you, if it is that bad, figure out something different. Now, you may not be in a position like me where you can sort of semi-retire or be looking for, something more fulfilling and have that luxury. But that that ball of knots in your stomach will just continue to grow, and it will wreak havoc on your health and your mental health as well as physical. So I do challenge you to figure out how to make it better. Don't feel like you have to tolerate or put up with bullshit, bullying, horrible management, walking on eggshells, having triple and quadruple overlapping meetings. You don't have to do that. There is something else out there for you. And if you can if you can overcome the fear as I did not overcome the fear. I had the fear, and that's why I stayed as long as I did, even knowing and being aware that it was wreaking havoc on my health, because I was bound by the golden shackles, the golden handcuffs. And I really thought, if I don't bring in income, this kind of income, then what does it mean for our lifestyle? And honestly, it didn't mean a lot for our lifestyle. It was, once I was able to be, the universe came in and said, you're not listening to yourself. You're not listening to your own visualization and manifestation. We're going to do it for you. So you're going to be out of this horrible job, or at least a job with horrible management. And once I was pushed over through that fear, I realized it was not bad at all. And in fact, I'm continually, daily surprised at how happy I am. Do I have bad moments? Absolutely. It's not great. Like I said, sometimes I really have to push myself to do what I need to do just to get through the day. But I'm no longer like 85% feeling like shit, and maybe 5% happy and 10% sort of just tolerant. Now I'm 85% happy, and maybe I have 15% of days where it's just, for whatever reason, I just, as normal people do, but I no longer dread or have that horrible feeling of Mondays anymore. So again, challenge you, those of you who are out there, if you are not happy where you're at, whatever it is, whether it's your job or your relationship or where you live, whatever it is, I challenge you to find ways to move through that, to change, because change is hard, but it's what you need to do. And if I can help in that, reach out, please do. Thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it. This was a fairly quick one today, but I just wanted to talk about it because I do feel really excited about the work week again, and that's not happened for a long time. So reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn, Beth Ann Campbell. I'm on Instagram, Facebook Threads, The Bean 67, and then YouTube, The Bean. That's where you can find all of the video versions of this podcast. So if you're out on YouTube, please give me some love, like, subscribe, and maybe throw a comment or two. I so appreciate it. And I appreciate you, because you know why? Because you're a fucking badass. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Take it easy. Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by Cafe Grit, where the moxie is fresh, the passion cold brewed, and everything is served with a heaping side of mojo. For more Cafe Grit episodes, please check out bethancampbell.com/cafegrit. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving it a rating or review on YouTube, Buzzsprout, or your favorite streaming platform. I'll be forever grateful, and in return, I'll wish upon you copious amounts of bacon, your favorite hot beverage, and of course, pie. I'd love to connect and hear about your grit experiences as well. Please go to bethancampbell.com for links to all my social media. Cafe Grit is a product of Beth Ann Campbell, LLC, all rights reserved. Thanks again, and remember, you are a badass. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Take it easy.